from Rich Stadium in the Channel 2 newsroom, it's Goal to Go, the post-game show. Now, here's your host, Mike DeGeorge.
Yes, they are, and you're looking live. Rich Stadium is still rocking. The Bills are going back to a fourth straight Super Bowl as they defeated the Kansas City Chiefs 30-13 this afternoon. And let's go out to Rich Stadium now and Sports Director Ed Kilgore.
Thank you very much, Mike. And Coach Marv Levy is at the podium right now, and let's hear what Marv has to say to the media.
And had a great input on it. The line had to block it. Thurman had to run. Jim Kelly had to call it. It all has to work. The schemes are fine, and there's a lot of good schemes that don't win. But I sort of went out of my way because I know how hard he had worked on this. He works hard every week, to tell you the truth. I went out of my way because he deserves the damn credit. That's why I went out of my way. He deserves a lot of credit for what he did. That's the real reason.
Did you think you were able to get to Montana, and when there was the change in quarterbacks, what effect was that?
Early in the week, I told our players, I said, you never know what's going to happen in a football game. And if Dave Craig comes in and plays, you better respect him. This is a seasoned quarterback who's won games. He's with a better team than he's been with in the past. So, we just said we got to stay at work. And Craig took him after a penalty down the 95 yards for a touchdown along the way. So there was no sense of we got him now because Montana's out of the game. And I want to give credit to, well, I've seen it happen where Joe Montana goes down and he's the visiting quarterback and the stands are up with cheers and glee. Our people handled themselves with class. The applause they did give was in tribute to Joe, not any gleeful, we've got him now.
Marv, how different do you think the game might have been had Jones not made the interception at the end of the half? Henry Jones.
The interception right before the half?
Yeah. I mean, if
that's a big one to get, no question about it. They go in just one touchdown down, and the last thing, it's a big plays. Big-time players make big-time plays. Thurman made them, Andre made them, Henry Jones made them, Bruce Smith, Cornelius made them, and a lot of others. I should stay away from that because there are a lot of guys who were lesser names that played well today.
Did you say that was the turning point of the game?
I beg your pardon?
Did you say that was the turning point of the game, the interception just before that?
No, no, because we were up by 14 at that time. I don't think there was a turning point in that game. I just don't think so. It was a big play in the game, but there's still 30 minutes to play, and they narrowed the margin to 7 points with a considerable period of time still to play. So,
does Thurman ever surprise you?
Does Thurman
ever surprise you?
Surprised me. Well, he had a great day today. I don't know if I've ever seen him run harder. I know what talent he has. I know some days you're going to shut him down a little bit more, but that potential to explode is always there. All the great hitters in baseball, they've had days when they've gone 0 for 4 too, and then come up with that, go on a hitting spree. So Thurman's a great player. What a day he had.
Did you notice anything in his mood during the week?
Jerry, I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
Did you notice anything in his mood? He seemed a little angry during the week.
No, that he was normal then. He was normal. Not really, Jerry. Not really. He was very tuned in, but he always is. He always is. Maybe he was a little bit less. Thurman likes to crack a little joke or put a barb in you or tap you on the left shoulder while he steps around the right side of you, type of thing out in practice. Maybe a little bit less of that this week. Maybe just a little bit more all business.
Was the game plan to run, Coach, or did this come because they gave it to you? Or?
No, it was that we hoped to strike balance. We didn't know. We hoped we could strike balance. We knew we had to run better than we ran last time. And our defensive play helps us to run. If your defense isn't playing well, you're playing come from behind, you have to pass, which was a mode that they finally had to get into.
Was Jim audibilizing into a lot of those runs tomorrow?
Oh yeah, when we go no huddle, he's out there. Unless he looks over, he's out there calling, which is what he's been doing for 5 years or so when we're no huddling.
Marv, just real quick, I know you usually address the team at the end of the game. Can you give us maybe the gist of what you said to them after this one?
Said we'll meet at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. No, I just, not a lot. There's a lot of TV coming in, and I just congratulated them, told them what our plans were for tomorrow, which are to meet at 9, and we depart here in buses at 12:30 and fly out at 2. And I said, and I'll fill you in on all the other details tomorrow morning. And we just, it was a little bit of a raucous locker room, as you can imagine.
Give out game balls, Mark?
They gave game balls to Thurman Thomas, Darryl Talley, the offensive line, and Steve Tasker, the special teams, which I thought was good. He said even though he started out with a fumble, he came back strong, had the best punt return day of the year to Russell Copeland. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, and there you hear from a obviously very happy Marv Levy, very satisfied guy. Now, the offensive line getting game balls, and one of them here with me is offensive guard John Davis. And, John, I don't know if you can put into words the feeling of satisfaction that you must have, particularly after the way the Chiefs handle you in Kansas City. But bigger than that, you're going back to the Super Bowl for an unprecedented fourth straight time.
It's, I have no idea what to say. It's been unbelievable. We knew that we pretty much got handled up in Kansas City, and we knew that we had to come back and have a strong performance. I didn't realize it was going to be like this. We had talked to Thurman all week, and amongst the offensive line, we knew that if he could run the ball once he got to the offensive line instead of having to take steps in the backfield, he would have a good day, and I think we were able to do that.
Emotionally, what was the difference in the game at Kansas City and here? It just appeared you guys cranked it up a notch. Obviously, the home crowd didn't hurt, but what did you do differently? Was there anything strategically differently, or was it more just a matter of emotion and doing a better job?
I thought we did the same thing that we did in Kansas City. It's just that we executed better than we did out there, and we knew that we got embarrassed, and we wanted to prove to the people outside that we can be a physical offense also and do the things that we have to do to get us back to the Super Bowl. And the fans, to say the least, were unbelievable.
Yeah, the noise level was definitely up there. Thurman Thomas, again, was just outstanding today. The big player coming through in the big game, and that's what you had to have.
Well, that's what Thurman Thomas, Jim Kelly, Andre, Darryl, Bruce, that's what this team's all about. When somebody needs to make a big play, they do at the right time. And we wanted to let Thurman have a great day today and show the people that we're worthy of a little bit of respect, even though they don't want us to go back, but we're going.
Could you sense at all that the Chiefs were getting a little frustrated as the game wore on, being unable to stop Thurman? Also, they couldn't get to Jim. You kept him sackless.
Well, that was the other thing we wanted to do also. I mean, of course, that's our job, but we knew after they scored the first touchdown that we kind of had them on their heels, and we knew that we needed to take advantage of it. And I think that one series we might have only got a field goal out of it, but that gave us a sense of, hey, if we keep pushing them and getting them down, then we have a chance to put this thing away.
National media all week long, you just ruined their storyline, John. They wanted to see Joe Montana go in there against maybe the 49ers or anybody else. Do you feel bad about that?
Bleep them. That's the way I feel about them. I don't care what they think. As a team, we're going to go down and do our job, and as for myself, I'm going home, and it's going to be a lot of fun for us.
Great, John. Congratulations. Thank you very much. I know Pete Metzlars is lurking around here somewhere, and if I can get him over here, Pete. Pete was good enough to wait around for us, but again, a member of the O-line doing a great job there. And I know you had one of the big blocks on one of the early touchdowns, but maybe before we talk about that in specifics, maybe you can give me your feeling about going back to a fourth Super Bowl. Before the year started, a lot of people didn't think it would happen, but I get the feeling in this locker room you guys thought it would.
Well, I think we've always had a lot of confidence in ourselves and felt we had a great chance to do it. We've got a lot of great people on our team, a lot of talented football players, and just thank the Lord we put it all together today, and here we're back again.
Any preference at all if it's the 49ers or Cowboys who are going to tee it up here?
I don't care. We're there, and that's all that matters to us, It's, and we're just thrilled to be there, and hopefully we'll go out next Sunday and play a great game and then play a game like we played today.
Very good. Pete, how's the hand, by the way? How's the finger?
It made it through. I had a few bumps on it, but in most part it made it through real well.
Great. Thanks, Pete. Congratulations. All right, let's go up to the podium now for Jim Kelly.
They've stuck with it before. They were able to stop us, and I guess when you're a team and
you've been through that before and it's been successful, sometimes you might think, well, it's going to turn around, but it really never did. And the key is the 5 guys up front. They opened holes like you wouldn't believe. And I mean, when I hand the ball off and I turn around, I can see a hole. You know they're doing their job.
Jim, can you explain your play? You've been particularly efficient and sharp the last part of the season here. Just talk about your play recently.
Well, I think the key to all of it is the protection. You know, as a quarterback, you know, I don't want to be saying it just to say it, but I'm not. Everybody knows as far as a quarterback to be successful, you got to be taken care of as far as pass protection. And when I have time to throw, I'll complete the passes. Receivers are doing a good job, but I think concentration, really studying the game. I mean, I've always studied it, but to a certain point where I know exactly what I want to do with the football. I know what plays I want to call, and they give me total control. When a coaching staff has that much confidence in the quarterback to make sure that you get in the right running play, you give Thurman enough opportunities, which I know as a quarterback by calling the plays, things are going to go our way. There's none that I call that I don't want to call, because when you have a total control of the offense, it's a big plus.
Jim, can you talk a little bit about the size of those holes, specifically up the middle? It seemed like you guys had some huge holes up the middle.
There was. In the whole, during the course of the week, I think, you hear all the stuff about, how good they were, and we knew they were. And deep down inside in our own minds, we said we were going to have to play some serious football, because we know what happened last time we faced them. They stuffed our running game, but today we're determined to try to run on them, and exactly what happened. The offensive line did one hell of a job.
Jim, can you talk about the significance of what this just means to you to have the fourth?
Well, it means a lot. We might have fell down defeat the last 3, but I don't care. You can't count us out, and the people that didn't want us there, sorry. We're just out not to prove anything to anybody else but ourselves, and we're not going just to lay down. We've never had before, and no pressure on us. Nobody expects us to be here, but we're back.
Jim, with all the Montana hype, were you personally deep down, was it kind of a personal challenge for you to outplay Joe and win the game for the Bills today?
I've heard different things, but Joe deserved everything he got. He's been MVP, Super Bowls. He's won Super Bowls, but all I kept hearing all the week in the interviews saying, if you beat Joe Montana, I think it'll step you up one notch. And I was like, hey, I'm not out there just to play against Joe Montana. I got to go against the Chiefs defense, and it's going to be a task in itself. But I know what I can do. I know what I'm capable of doing. That my teammates know what I'm capable of doing, and I just want to go out there and prove to myself and prove to this team that I'm a leader. And I guess I really didn't have to prove it to them. They already knew it. But it was exciting to go out there and win against a great team and a great quarterback.
Do you think the Bills are in a better position now because, as you say, the pressure is off? You're doing what no one expected?
Well, we're in a situation now where we're just going to go down there and have some fun and hopefully come back with a win. Hey, our goal is not to go down there and just show up. Our goal is to win, and I know that whoever it is, the Cowboys or the 49ers, their goal is going to be the same. And may God take its course, and we'll see what happens.
Jim, you can't possibly feel the same way, though, going back there for the 4th time after what happened last year than you did go the first time, let's say.
I'd tell you the truth, I don't really care what happened last year. Hey, we lost point blank. It didn't matter if it was 14-13 or whatever the score was. A loss is a loss, a win's a win. I hate to lose. I think everybody on this team does. I think everybody in the city hates to lose. But we're winners no matter what happens, and we're going to go up and we're going to show up and we're going to have some fun. And, hey, nobody's predicting us to win, so it'll be sweet.
What were you guys saying to each other on the sidelines and stuff as it was winding down and there's a lot of touching?
We're back. What else can you say? Nobody's done what we've done. Nobody's accomplished what we've accomplished, and I'm proud to say I'm a Buffalo Bill, and I know 45 others are proud to say they're Buffalo Bills too.
Jim, last week against the Raiders defense, you audibled a lot. Did you not have to do that as much today?
Yeah, I had to do a lot of it today again. Well, not a lot. I did enough to keep them off balance. I did enough dummy audibles to keep them off balance too, and it's just part of our offensive scheme, getting the right play at the right time, and our motto is never go from a good play to a good play, always from a bad play to a good play. So I think it was a big plus for us, able to pick up everything and keep them off balance, and mix the snap count up too.
Jim, Glenn Parker said that you called a perfect game today. Was there something between the first game, anything you guys picked up in film that enabled you to get some better reads on their defense?
No, we had the reads. It was just they just beat us. We just made too many errors last time we faced them, penalties, turnovers. We picked the right time to do things, and it opened up. But the key to an offensive success, it's so easy. It's obvious. Guys up front, they give me the time to throw, and they open holes.
you get a guy like Thurman Thomas, a quarterback like myself, who give us enough chances, we're going to score.
Jim, with the role you're on right now, is it good to be playing next week? Go right into it next week?
I'm glad there's not a week in between. We'll just roll from one to another. I mean, we feel good about ourselves, but not too good to go in there cocky. We have confidence, but you have to have confidence.
Jim, how about Thurman today? He seemed really fired up.
Yeah, Thurman, we kept telling him, you got to hit those holes today, T, and it's exactly what he did. And I turned around even when Kenny Davis was in there. Sometimes I have a habit of when I hand a football off, telling him to go. I mean, I'll be handing the football off and telling him what to do.
You want another shot at the Cowboys?
I don't care who it is, to tell you the truth.
Jim, does this team have anything the last three didn't?
I'm sorry.
Does this team have anything that the last three didn't that might indicate you?
No, not at all. I think the character on this team is shown from Super Bowl I to Super Bowl IV. It's just goes to show if we all stick together. And I think, it goes to show if a front office is committed to keeping a winner, you're going to have a winner. And to keep the Thomases, the Smiths, the Tallies, the Bennetts, the Kellys, the Reeds, keeping us all on the same team means a lot. I mean, you can see some championship teams will win a Super Bowl or it'll come close and all of a sudden you'll see a couple of top-notch players go in free agency. Of course, we lost a couple, but I mean, you got to keep your stars too, and Ralph Wilson has done an excellent job doing that.
Did you come up with the idea of wanting to run, Jim, or did that just open up?
No, it just opened up. Our offense is so much better when we pass and then run, and it showed it today. We were able to keep them off balance, but once you get a running game established and you're able to find the holes, you go with it.
Jim, what did you say to Joe after the game?
First of all, I asked him how he felt. He shook his head, he nodded like, so-so. But just told him to hang in there, and he said, go get it. And I said, I'll do my best.
Marv said Thurman this week was maybe a little bit less horseplay or a little less joking than he
was.
Well, that's what Marv said anyway. Did you notice anything different?
Somebody might have told Marv to say that. No.
It was the same?
Thurman's never going to change. Thurman's Thurman. I'm glad Thurman's Thurman.
Jim, do you believe in all the law of averages?
No, I just believe in going out there and doing your best, and we'll see what happens.
You said there's a motto about not going from a good play to a good play. There's another motto we've heard a lot about this year about going for 4. Can you talk a little about that, about how it's helped fire guys up?
Well, it has, because at the beginning of the season, nobody expected us to go. Nobody wanted us to go. And, the motto was to piss everybody off and go back for 4, and here we are. But what's kind of interesting was all during the course of last week, people I was talking to in some of the interviews were saying that, hey, I was one of those guys that said that we didn't want to see you back. But to tell you the truth, what you guys have accomplished, not only in the past 3 years, but what you've done this year, because we have to play the toughest schedule every single year, and nobody realizes that. And he said, hey, for what you guys have accomplished, hey, if you guys win, we're going to pull for you, because I tell you what, you guys got some balls.
What about the weather out there in the second half of the rain? Did that affect your throwing at all? Or?
No, it didn't affect my throwing. I think at times it might have affected Joe's throwing, but overall, they gave me time to throw, and most of my passes were there.
Jim, can you talk about the effect, positive effect of being with that exceptional head coach?
Well, I don't think it was a turning point, but I think it was a big play. I think in the course of a ball game, you have to have the big plays. And we didn't want the momentum swing to go their way, especially when, the whole way down the field, all they did was dump it off to the backs, and they marched the whole length of the field. And I didn't want to see the momentum change, and all of a sudden we come up with a big play. And during the course of a game, such as a championship game, you have to have a couple big plays, and that definitely was one of them. All right, guys. Thank you.
All right, that was a happy Jim Kelly. Now, the game is over, and the Bills are happy, and their fans are happy, and some of them are standing by right outside now with Wes Goforth. Let's go to Wes.
Okay, thanks, Ed. We are outside in front of the Bills administration offices, and some very happy fans have been here for a long time, behaving themselves just beautifully, and they're just about to let her rip in 3, 2, 1. Here we go! Okay, we're going to get down here and ask a couple of these people what they thought. What'd you think about Thurman's running, first of all?
Incredible.
Never better?
Incredible. This is my first game.
What about the respect issue? Not a lot of people outside Buffalo wanted the Bills back here.
No, nobody wanted the Bills here. Everybody was just like, get rid of them.
So they kind of put it in their face today,
That's right,
Okay,
man.
How about you over here? What about the respect issue? A lot of writers here didn't want the Bills back in the
It's
Super Bowl.
horrible. They should be in the Super Bowl. They deserve it. End of story. The Bills should be in the Super Bowl. 4 consecutive times in a row they've been here.
That's the way you have to get them out.
AFC champs, definitely.
You have to get them out by beating them. Is that right?
Yes, they have to be out if they don't want us in the Super Bowl.
Who do you
They
want
have
to see the
beat
Bills
us.
play next week?
Dallas.
Dallas again. Okay. I have to step up here and show you very briefly some very good fans who are out here waiting for their team to say goodbye to. These are the Kansas City Chiefs fans who are waiting to see Joe Montana and company. I talked to a lot of them. They've been very good sports. They want the Bills, by and large, to go ahead and win for the AFC, and we just wanted to recognize the Chiefs fans. Let's go back inside now to Ed Kilgore. Ed?
Real quick, we've got Bills owner Ralph Wilson in here. I see you've got your nice new hat there, Mr. Wilson. Let's take a look at that. Super Bowl 28.
Super Bowl 28, right.
You're going to be down at the Georgia Dome. I know you'll be there. And did you think before this season this was going to happen? A lot of other people didn't.
No, I had, I was hoping for the best in July, but to win 4 straight conference championships, it'll be a long, long time before anybody does that again.
Ralph, I want to say something on behalf of the fans, and I'm usually not one that represents them. In fact, sometimes I know the things I say tick them off, but you're a guy who deserves, I think, more credit than anyone else for this because you kept this club together. A lot of teams will get to a Super Bowl. Some of the free agents go. Some of the big stars go. You made the commitment to keep Thurman Thomas to a new contract, Bruce Smith, Jim Kelly. I think you deserve a lot of credit, and I know a lot of fans would like to tell you that, but that's what it takes to get that done.
Thanks very much, Ed. We didn't in July know what the salary cap would be. It's going to be in effect, we knew, in '94, but we wanted to keep the core of the team together, and that's what we tried to do, rather than go out and have some of them drift off next year or in the future, and us go out and pick up other players from other teams. We tried to keep the nucleus together that got the Bills 3 Super Bowls. And so you make a decision, it worked out. And it worked out for the best.
Of course,
I'm happy.
Yeah, you still have a challenge. You have Darryl Talley, Steve Tasker, some of the other people are coming up. And I know that's maybe putting the cart ahead of the horse, but your intentions are, I would assume, to get them signed.
Oh, definitely. I guess the cap, the figures are out, and we'll have to get our pencil out and come up with something innovative to keep them.
Mr. Wilson, how do you feel about the fact that the national media seems to have given up on the Buffalo Bills just a little bit? There's been a lot of talk about, well, the angle is they want Joe Montana in the Super Bowl. And in fact, there was a sign out there I thought was pretty good. It said, "We're back, America, deal with it." So it seemed to be a rallying cry for the Bills, if nothing else.
Yeah, I saw that sign. I can understand the fans wanting Joe Montana because he's such a superstar, and you saw the way he took his team down towards the end of the first half. He just carved us up. But beyond Joe Montana, as far as the national press or any press, local is concerned, I want to thank him for being against this team, because being against the Bills, in my opinion, just brought the Bills closer together, and you saw the way they played today.
No question about it. Mr. Wilson, thanks very much for stopping by. Congratulations, and we'll see you in Atlanta.
Well, thanks.
Okay. Right now, let's go up to the podium where Bruce Smith is talking to the media.
Exemplify the final goal. The goal is not just to piss them off, but we need to win. It's fine. Let's piss them off. Let's go back for 4. But the goal is essentially to win the ball game. Can we do it? If we don't think we can do it, we might as well stay home.
Do you think that's, are you guys allowing yourselves to even enjoy this a little bit? Because it seems like the talk is on winning it as opposed to enjoying it. You've made history today.
Well, I think this team has handled it in a more mature fashion. We're keeping a level head. We realize what we've accomplished, but again, this is not the final goal. The final goal lies in Atlanta next Sunday, and we're going to start preparing the way champions should prepare. We're going to prepare to win this ball game.
There was a lot of hype about Montana in the media. Did this affect you in any way, or did you just go and prepare like this was another championship game?
Well, I would say that the fact that everybody wanted to see Joe Montana and Steve Young, or Joe Montana and Troy Aikman, it really got us upset. There were going to be two teams out on the field, and the best team would win. But we felt all week they didn't give us any respect. We also felt that if that was the case, the only person that should have been on the field was Joe Montana, because that's all everybody kept saying. To give credit where it's due, I have the utmost respect for Joe for his accomplishments through the years and everything, but hey, give us a little bit of credit.
Bruce, Mark called this the best game, your best game overall, the team the whole season.
I agree, definitely. I think on both sides of the ball we had great game plans, especially offensively. Anytime you're able to go out, run the ball, control the clock, get continuous first downs, it really sets the tempo of the game and it makes the defense job a little bit easier.
What was the impact, Bruce, of the interception at the end of the game?
Tremendous. Rather than having them go in with another touchdown added on to the score they had already had, we were able to go in and feel somewhat confident that we could make some big plays on them. But at the same time, that was a great interception.
Did you feel like you got a bit of a break since it bounced off his hands and all that?
Well, it doesn't matter how it bounces, just as long as it's an interception. I think we kind of put a little wind into their sails or into their balloon or whatever. They were able to march the ball down the field right before halftime, and they gave them a little bit of confidence. So we felt that going back in the second half, as soon as we came out, we needed to let some of the air out of their sail or to take some of the wind out of their balloon.
How much was an adjustment to Creed versus Montana, defensively?
Pardon me?
How much of an adjustment was when a new quarterback came in, Creed came in replacing Montana? Was this a big adjustment for you guys?
Not really. I truly believe that the quarterback that came in is a great quarterback, and on any other team, it's a very good possibility that he could start. We felt that we could get pressure on Joe and at the same time the backup, and that was very important. We felt the whole week that we might not sack him a great deal, but just getting pressure on him, making him having to move around or hold the ball and just a little bit longer than he normally does, that would have a positive impact on the game.
Bruce, do you like just going 1 week between the championship game and the Super Bowl, just fly out and play the game instead of having that weekend?
Yes, definitely. Why string it out any longer? We feel very confident going into this week. This is the healthiest we've been in the last 3 opportunities at the Super Bowl, and I don't think anybody's sustained any major injuries today. So we're healthy, we feel very confident, and we just have to go out and do what we do best, and that's play football.
Bruce, you were talking about respect by winning today. Do you think you gained any additional respect by winning?
Well, if we didn't win in respect, we shut a lot of people up, and that's really what we wanted to do. Again, people say they wanted this, they wanted that. Opinions are fine, and everybody has an opinion, but they're not the ones that's playing the game.
Bruce, is there an emotion, a factor of being, for lack of a better phrase, fed up with what has happened?
I'm sorry, I couldn't.
I mean, is there some kind of an emotion, a factor of being fed up with what's happened previously in the Super Bowls that might work to your advantage in the fourth time around?
That's a tough question. I don't think there's really an emotional factor. I think that we know in our minds what we're capable of doing and what we can do. But we just have to go out and play like we played today. Establish ourselves from the first play, the first series, and set the tempo through the game. And that's what happened today.
Bruce, can you come on the potential opponents, starting with Dallas? That's a team that you've faced once before. If you get them, how much of an advantage is that? And then San Francisco?
Well, there's no advantages. They have 47 men. We have 47 men. We're playing in a neutral spot. We're just ecstatic about having the opportunity to play in our fourth Super Bowl and hopefully come out victorious. There's no advantages.
Could you talk about what Thurman Thomas' running does to you on defense? I mean, by keeping you off the field.
It had a tremendous effect. Watching him run, seeing the offensive line play the best I've ever seen him play, watching Jim do the things that he does best, it motivates the defense. Anytime they're able to control the clock, continuously get first downs, and with Jim, the cadence, it's spectacular to watch, and it also keeps us fresh on the sidelines. I don't know how many plays we actually played, but I know I really didn't get winded till the last few plays in the game.
Is this a better team than the last three Super Bowls?
Well, again, I think it's a much more mature team, in a sense that everybody on this team, even the younger guys, rookies, are contributing. I think this is a better team. You just don't see the 3 and 4 superstars that we have on this team making big plays. You see everyone contributing and making big plays, and anytime you have that on a team, that's a winning combination.
Bruce, of the 4 AFC titles, does this perhaps
Definitely. We had to go out and earn it. The fact that no one really expected us to win or predicted us to win, it was, again, always Joe. It's definitely gratifying. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was Bruce Smith, and we go from one member of that defensive group to another one, strong safety Henry Jones. And Henry, this was one of those football games that the Bills just seemed to dominate from the start, and yet late in the first half, it was still kind of touch and go there.
Oh yeah, they're a good football team. We knew that, and anytime they got Joe Montana at the helm, anything can happen. And he's proved that throughout the years. And coming down the field second half, I was fortunate enough to make a big play.
Well, that is exactly what I was leading to, Henry. That may have been the play of the game, because if they take that in, it'll be 20-13 at the half. What happened?
Well, we had an all-out blitz going, and we had a guy miss a coverage, and I was fortunate enough to get the ball. I came off my receiver and just trying to break on the ball and make something happen. And I was fortunate enough he didn't catch the ball cleanly.
I know one thing you do very well is after the interception, I know you were thinking, hey, if you can get a block, maybe you can break it.
Yeah, it really was. I looked up, I saw 2 linemen, and then I looked to my right and I saw McNair coming in there. And I decided to cover up the ball and go on down.
I think if McNair hadn't been there, Joe Montana is the only guy you had to beat. He may be a great quarterback, but I don't think he's a very good safety. Did you get a little bit tired maybe of hearing about Joe Montana all week? Was that even an extra source of inspiration, as if you needed any?
Yeah, well, it really wasn't an extra source of inspiration, but I really did get tired of hearing, Super Joe, Mystical Joe, this Joe, that. Just like the week before, we heard Tim Brown this, Tim Brown that. So, you get tired of hearing it, but it's no extra motivation. We wanted to go out and play well against a guy like that. Obviously, he won 4 Super Bowls, but it was a great feeling to go out there and get that interception.
Now, what about when Joe went out? You knocked him out with a concussion early third quarter. Dave Craig comes in. Is there any tendency to maybe let down a little bit? Did you guys talk about that, or was there the sense that you still have to keep it turned up?
Yeah, we really talked about not letting down. We knew Craig was a capable quarterback. Obviously, he's no Joe Montana in that system, but we knew he was a capable quarterback, and he really came in and did an outstanding job. Actually, he looked more effective than Joe did at times. So, we couldn't let down, and we didn't want to let down, and our offense really gave us a big boost the way they ran the football today.
I'll ask you the same thing I've been asking everybody, and that is the national media has been pulling for a Joe Montana or sort of an anybody but Buffalo back in the Super Bowl. Is it kind of fun to tick them off?
Yeah, it really is kind of fun. No one wants to see us in there, but it doesn't matter to us. We're just going to go out and do the things that we have to do to win each day, and we've been doing that. So everybody's had their chance, but we're back.
All right. Listen, Henry, thanks for stopping, and we'll see you down in Atlanta.
All right, thank you.
All right, Henry Jones. Right now, let's go to the podium, and who do we have there? By the way, the Dallas Cowboys are leading San Francisco 7-0, and here's the guy, Thurman Thomas.
Motivated you a little bit today. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Well, you read the newspapers, you look at the television shows, and you listen to the sports shows, and a lot of fans were saying that they should start Kenny Davis and then bring Thurman Thomas in, in the first quarter. But, a lot of people say I was banged up. Sure, everybody on the National Football League is banged up to a certain point. But I just felt like going into this game that, I haven't had a good game in a long time, but this is one of the games that I wanted to have a good game because their defense and Marty Schottenheimer challenged us to to this type of offense. He said, if we stop Thurman Thomas, we have a great chance to win the ball game. But my offensive line did a great job all day.
Ever have a better game?
No, this is probably my best game since I've been in the National Football League for 6 years. Anytime you can break into the secondary, you got to give a lot of credit to the offensive line. So I was really pumped today that, because I want to go back to the Super Bowl just as well as a lot of the players on this football team. And overall, I think this is probably my best game of my 6-year career.
You had some narrow creases today, but you had some large gaps. Can you talk about some of those holes, especially up the middle, that you seem to be able to?
Well, Ken Hall, he makes all the calls for us, and he did a great job of calling, what type of blocking scheme we had. Ken's been a Pro Bowler for a couple of years. He's very experienced at what he does. So overall, I thought Ken did a great job in the offensive line. And what else can you say about him? Early in the year, we were being criticized about me not getting a lot of yards, Jim Kelly being hit too much, giving up a lot of sacks, but I think they pretty much put that to rest today.
Thurman, were you surprised that they didn't adjust defensively during the first half, or the way you were running and the team was blocking maybe it wouldn't matter?
Well, I think early in the third quarter they did adjust a little bit. I think they went back to their base regular defense, and it kind of gave us a little problems, but we went out there and on the sidelines and said, hey, we need to do this a little bit different because, it's a different type of defense when you have 3 linebackers out there instead of a lot of defensive backs. So overall, we changed up a little, but changed up about 10%, but 90%, we stayed with what got us there in the first half.
Did you ever take your lineman out to dinner or anything during the Super Bowl for this?
No, I had a roast for him late in the year, and it cost me like $15,000. So that's it for them guys.
Jim Kelly says every once in a while he'll hand the ball off to you and he'll say go. You ever hear him say that?
All the time. Let me see how many times did I carry today?
Yeah,
he must have said it about 15, 20 times today, and I don't know. He's like me. He sees a lot of different things that I see. He knows that hey, on certain plays I'm gonna get a lot of yards. On certain ones I might not, but. He called a great game today. Offensive line blocked well, and hopefully we can hear that next week.
Thurman, did you go into this Super Bowl fed up with what's happened previously?
Well, I'm just happy to be back at a 4th straight Super Bowl. A lot of people didn't predict us to be here at this point, but we believed in ourselves, the organization, Mr. Wilson, John Butler, Marv Levy. We hung together as a team, and I think going into the Super Bowl, we know what it takes now. I know you've been to 3, but the last one we had 9 turnovers. Scott Norwood, missed a field goal, and the Washington Redskins just pretty much dominated us. So. We know what it takes. We know if we can eliminate the mistakes that we've had in the first 3 and keep the game close. Our defense is playing well, offense is playing well, and whatever team that we play, if we take the ball away from them and don't give it to them, we have to take advantage of those opportunities.
Is this championship probably the sweetest story of the fourth quarter? No one thought you could go?
You would have to rank it right up there when we beat the Raiders in 1990. But this might put that one over the edge because a lot of people didn't want us back here. A lot of people gave up on us. Some magazines we were picked 3rd to finish in the division, but that's what brings home field advantage. Our crowd played a big factor in it today. They gave us time to get our offensive going. That's the same if we've been in Kansas City, we probably wouldn't have had a performance like this. But I'm just glad that the crowd was in it and it gave us the opportunity to do a lot of things.
Thurman, can you talk about how Kansas City's defensive backs and inside linebacker, how that made your job?
Well, the only thing that it made different was that, if they blitz, I was on Martin Baylor's side. And 9 times out of 10, I can block him or somebody that's in the secondary. But, anytime you have a linebacker that weighs about 250 pounds, it's going to take his punishment out on me. And, that's where the fullback comes in. But we don't ever use a fullback. So, I feel like at that time, if they stuck with that defense, we would have some great opportunities to get me out of the backfield, run some screens, run some draws, because anytime you have 300-pound linemen hitting on the defensive back, it's going to wear and tear on the guy.
Were you tired near the end? Was it after carrying that ball that many times for any yards? Or were you just pumped up so it didn't matter?
I was just pumped up. Everything was going fine. Anytime that you're getting the ball and you're getting 9, 10 yards every time, the adrenaline is going to stay with you for a long time. And I was just pumped up. My offensive lineman was pumped up. They did a great job of blocking all day. And I really can't sit up here and say enough about those guys. But anytime you ask any running back, if you getting the ball like that and going downfield, you're going to be pumped up all the way down.
Were you surprised one of the adjustments that
Well, to tell you the truth, I didn't really know Derek was out of the football game. You know, I was just basically worried about, you know, what play Jim Kelly was calling. Didn't really look and see who was in the game, whether it was Derek or Neil Smith. I just kept my focus on what I had to do and not worry about who was out there on the football field.
When the clock's winding down at the end of the game, what are you guys saying to each other coming off?
Well, you know, this is our third straight AFC Championship, but the job is not done yet. You know, we're 0-3 in Super Bowls, and we definitely have to get that monkey off our back. You know, we don't want to be 0-4. So, but if we play like we played today, you know, I think we have a great opportunity to win down there in Atlanta.
Was the surface slippery at all? Obviously, it didn't seem to bother you too much, but I mean...
No, the surface wasn't slippery. The only slippery part that's in the football field in the stadium is the helmet in the middle of the football field. I think Marcus Allen slipped one time on that, and so did I. The one that Jim Kelly kept and ran for a first down, I slipped on that. So the weather and the turf, it wasn't a factor today. It was just a factor of us getting a body on a body and just knocking them off the football.
Thurman, on your first 2 touchdowns, you guys beat Blitz.
Yeah, we did beat Blitz. It was very surprising because when you watch them on film, they get down into that red area. They don't blitz a lot, but it was very surprising to us that they did blitz. Offensive line did a great job of pulling up the holes. Keith McKellar and Pete Messelars did a great job. Andre Reed, Billy Brooks, and Don Beebe did a great job of blocking downfield all day long.
On that second TV run, it was so you didn't get touched. You seemed almost couldn't believe it. It was so weird.
Well, you know, that was one of the plays where they blitzed. I mean, they had about 5 or 6 guys coming straight up, you know, right in front of Ken Hall, John Davis, and Glenn Parker. So when you see that, the only good thing to do is that being a runner and carrying the ball so many times. You know, I've been carrying the ball all my life, and you see things like that, and you pretty much know where to go.
Was there a point today, either before the game or during the game, that you just sensed that today was your day?
No, because anything can happen in a football game. You know, say for instance, if I would have had a lot of yards, but I had a crucial fumble that got them back into the game. So I really wasn't satisfied on my performance until the clock ran out in the fourth quarter.
Certainly an MVP performance from Thurman Thomas. 33 carries, 186 yards, 3 touchdowns. A tremendous performance for Squirmin' Thurman. And right now, let's go back to our studios and Mike DeGeorge.
Ed, thanks very much. Let's get you caught up on the latest things going around. First, the update on the NFC Championship game in Dallas. Right now tied at 7-7 between the Cowboys and the Niners. Emmitt Smith scoring on the Cowboys' first series. He went in from 5 yards out to give the Cowboys a 7-0 lead. The 49ers have just scored a Tom Rathman 7-yard pass from Steve Young. They're early in the second quarter. It's tied at 7. And this just over the wires. Here's the lead story from AP on the Bills-Chiefs game. The story starts off like this, quote, "Sorry, America, the Bills are back." And Joe's not. Get used to it because it's going to be like that all week long. Now, we'll have more coming up from the locker room with Ed Kilgore and Bill's reaction. We'll also have fan reaction with Wes Goforth and around Western New York, and our Super Bowl special tonight at 8 o'clock. More in a moment, coming up on the postgame show.
Throw your hands up and shout. Throw your head back and shout. Come on now.